So as much as I appreciate the idea of the power of now and what that really symbolizes, it is ultimately not accurate, not even close to accurate, because there is no now. There's no moment either. There's only the eternal flow of what's happening. If you're a river, and you are, we know, we're at this point in our understanding of medicine, of acupuncture, of herbalism, of the meridians of our body, the chakras, that we are a river of energy, and God's love flows through it. Actually flows through our heart, out through our body, right through our heart, out. And if we're contracted in some way, somewhere, let's say we have anger against our father, then our liver will contract. Pretty soon it's forming barnacles from Taco Bell. And you'll notice that when someone has really strong emotional stuff about something, the food comes in, and the food is not the best food ever. The food doesn't look like that under a microscope. It's not the best ever. In fact, it looks something like this. Oh, I got a good one to show you guys. It looks something like that, right? Curling photography of a cooked piece of cabbage. There's the raw cabbage. Why is this important? We're a visual culture, and to understand what's going on inside somebody's body is something that we can't really picture because we've never really been cutting dead people open. But when you look at this, you can go, yep, you've seen that before. New York City subway system? I was in the New York City subway system. This is unbelievable. I get to New York. Next morning, we get up, we get in the subway to go do this event. We're in there. There's a little couple over here. There's some kind of weird gnome kind of a guy trying to get through the turnstile. Goji and I are talking about having like vegetarianism and the future of vegetarianism, this whole thing that we're having this conversation. All of a sudden I look at this guy, he passed the gnome guy and he's coming right at me, and I'm like, whoa, this guy's coming right at me. And he's like, hey, how you doing? I'm like, I'm the best ever. How are you? Anyway, so then he's like, okay, he knows me somehow, but I don't know. I've never seen him before. Turns out he's reading the Sun Food Diet, and he has it on it in the subway system. You'd never know. Anyway, so if we self-contract, it's like a dam. You put a dam on a beautiful creek, you know what happens ultimately to every dam? I had to see this to finally know. Every dam, you put a dam across the creek, let's say a river's going down here. If you put a dam across, what happens is water will hit, and then it will eventually rise up and spill over. But it loses its sediment right there. So eventually the sediment stacks up until the sediment is even with the top of the dam, and the whole thing flows right over. So Hoover Dam, in 1,000 years, the sediment will be all the way at the top, and it will flow right over. This happens to every dam. So that's kind of like disease state. When that gets sedimented up like that, the universe's flow of energy is not going to be blockaded. So if you start to dump in whatever toxic waste, what will happen is that toxic waste will start feeding something. And it will feed parasites, mold, yeast, bacteria, viruses, whatever. And that will show up in, say, at the liver, and all of a sudden that liver will become cirrhosis, and someone will be checking out. If we can open up the energy system so things are moving, then we're making a step in the right direction. So live food is really powerful because it has water in it. So it's opening up that flow. We just have more flow happening. Some people call it liquid plumber. You don't have to understand quantum physics to know that it's like one tube from here to there. Who's confused? That is a river of energy. Right? It looks like a river. It meanders back and forth. It's got big parts like a lake, that's the stomach, right? It's got other parts like this. There's little things that go into it. It's like a river of energy. And that river of energy is influenced by the food we're eating primarily, because if the quantum theory is true, then what's happening is we're ingesting, we're absorbing, and we're excreting, and that stuff that we ate eventually becomes us, becomes part of our quantum field. And I would surmise if we're going to start anywhere, it's a problem with the food. We're going to say, where's the problem? Food. Where's the lack of love? Think about it. Where's the lack of love? There's no love in the soil. There's no love the way it's grown. There's no love in the way it's delivered. There's only anger or greed. And there's no love when it gets delivered. There's no love when it gets made at home. Right? It goes in the microwave. Mom doesn't make it anymore. And all of a sudden someone gets it. There's 0 love percentage there. We don't actually have to know anything about nutritional anything, amino acids, any of it. You can go totally on intuition and love. If you eat food with love in it, you'll always be healthy and happy forever. And everybody knows that for a fact. If you go to your mom's house and you have your mom's home cooking, it's by far better than anything ever. In Goja's case, because her parents are raw Buddhists, she has her mom's uncooking. Now, it's like we're getting that now. We're like, hey, can you Grandma make a little extra for us and send it to us? You know the feeling. Your homegrown tomatoes taste completely different from stuff you buy in a store. Completely different. Even farmers market tomatoes, because it's got your love in it. It's your signature. The adamantine particle exchange. At any rate, where we're at with this whole food thing is that we're using food more now as fuel for consciousness. Where we're going, what our personal destiny is. And we're also using it in a way where it doesn't become our crutch, or it's not a bearer of burdens. It's a river of flow. And this is the way we get out of all food neurosis. We get out of our head about it. That's number one thing. Stop thinking about it. Get into heart. Just forget about it. Your head's going to run circles around you forever. It's like an abacus. Oh, I've got this much and that, and I'm going to have this and that, and I'm going to eat this, and I have to keep eating, and then that, and more eating, and then this, and I got to, oh my God, I forgot that, I got to get this. So using food in a way where we're getting more into our heart, and we're getting towards a place where we're adding things in instead of taking things away. Nobody wants anything taken away from them. Like if I came up to you and I said, who has the Sacred Heart chocolate here? I need to have it. Can you bring it to me?
Oh, me?
Yeah, in fact, you need to give it to me. And you can't have it anymore. I'm just kidding. You know what I'm saying. That's every diet book is saying like that. It's saying, you can't have this anymore. This is poison. In fact, you better give it to us. That can never work. It's against human nature. No human's into that kind of consciousness. Everybody wants taste, sensations, flavor, adding, new stuff, new experiences. That's what excites people. And that's what we have. I mean, these raw chocolate products that are coming out right now are so much better than the garbage we called chocolate that was actually some kind of a genetically modified, hormonally altered, suicide, pesticide, herbicide, larvicide, fungicide, pus-filled, blood-filled, chalk-filled, milk byproduct-filled, wax bar. The ones that we all grew up on. And now look what's happening.